Hey guys, so I thought it'd be a fun idea to do a tutorial video over how to do bruises and stuff on the face. Except instead of using makeup to do it, I thought it'd be fun to use markers. I've done this before, not with markers, but with paint, and it works just as well. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of do a tutorial so that way people will know kind of what it takes to make fake bruises and stuff like that, just for Halloween or for a prank, or just because why not? You want to play with makeup. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of Vaseline on, just so that way the markers don't dry up the skin around my eyes. Also, since the Vaseline is kind of moist, like a lotion on your skin, it will allow for the markers to spread a lot better instead of taking to one area. When you do makeup like this, you do want the paint or the makeup or the markers or whatever you use to be able to spread. Otherwise, that way it'll just look like you did marker all over your face and you'll kind of look ridiculous. Okay, so the first thing about bruises is that the bottom layer is always yellow. Skin turns yellow when it gets tender. So the bottom layer you'll always do with a bruise is yellow, and you can see I'm just putting a little bit on there and then spreading it. This is a technique we used to use in plays, and it's used in movies to do fake bruises all the time. So put a couple dabs of yellow and literally just dab it. And you don't want the yellow to be too bright, just enough to where, see how it already kind of looks like bruised skin? Yeah, you don't want to put a whole thing around your face. Just little areas. Kind of figure out where you want your bruise to go. And then like that. And then I'm also going to do kind of like a busted lip down here. So you can kind of see how that'll look too. But it'll be kind of more like a bruised lip. Okay. So that's the first thing you want to do. You want to spread the yellow a little bit. Depending on how big you want it. You want the area around the skin, or around where the bruise is going to be kind of a yellow tint like that. Okay, so then the next thing you always do after yellow is red. And you got to be careful with the red, because you don't want it to be too dark. Just like the yellow, you kind of want it to blend. And this is kind of showing where blood in a bruise would be. So it's going to be a little bit darker around like the inside of your eye. Once again, you just want to dab it a little bit. We might have to add a little bit more yellow, and that's fine. Yeah, it's fun using the markers for it, because the markers, since they're already pretty wet, they spread really well. You can also use the red for blood. We'll probably use it for blood too. This one down here is not going as well. And then after red, you always want to use some purple. Let's use this purple. It kind of looks like a purplish, kind of like a brownish. Let's see if we can get an actual purple in here. This will work. Okay. So after red, you want some purple. Do some more purple, darker around this part of your eye, as if you were going to be doing eyeshadow. Purple showing up almost a little bit red, so let's see if we can find it a little bit darker than this. Let's see here. I got this huge purple marker. This is gonna work. Maybe this one will. Oh god. Okay, let's try this. There we go. That's kind of doing what I wanted to. You'll see I'm kind of doing it in dots, and the dots kind of give it that blood swelling look, because if you look at a bruise, it's not completely purple or completely red. It's a little more blotted, and you'll see that some areas are normally more purple than others, or more red than others, just because And that's just how skin works. And it looks kind of weird when I go like that. But just looking at you, it might look a little more normal. So dab that on there. You can dab it in a little bit, but with that one, you want it to be a little bit more to where you can see the dots. So if you want to rub it in and then add more dots, you can. There we go. And I'll put a little bit down here. And the thing is, as you use the colors and as it gets darker and darker, you kind of want it to get a little bit smaller every time. I'm going to kind of go under the eye too. Because normally the eyes, if you're doing that, they'll swell. You kind of want it to look like your eye is swelling. So you kind of want to get underneath it. See, you don't need top grade makeup to do stuff like this. Really, all you need is markers. So that part's that. And I'm going to put a little bit of purple here too if it'll stay. Because if I can get a busted lip going, that'll make it look a little more realistic. Okay, so we got on the lip, got on the eye. I'm probably going to add a little more red to the lip so it looks like there's blood. See how it kind of looks like blood? Not so much, but when you're using marker, kind of looks like it. Okay, and then the next thing you want to use, that's green, you want to use black. Let's see if we can find a black in here. I got pen. That could work. Let's see if we can stick to marker. There we go. And the black, you just want it to be to kind of make the purple a little darker. And also because it's going to enhance the parts where it's supposed to look really bruised. So you can see I'm kind of making it look real bruised towards this side of my eye rather than this one. So that might have been a little too much. So you add the black and then you can go back over it with the purple. I'll probably add a little bit of everything. Just to make it look a little more out there. Okay. A little more red to it on top. And you see how the yellow, you can still kind of see it? That's good. That's kind of what you're supposed to have. I'll put a little more on there. And you can just kind of dab it like this if you want. Just kind of like a fun thing to do if you ever want to play with makeup but you're tired of doing like regular like mascaras and eyeshadows and you want to see if there's other things you can do with makeup. Markers are a really good way to go. And you can add some more yellow on top. See, this way it kind of looks like I was in a bad accident or something. A little more yellow down here. The reason I'm putting more black is because when I put the red on top of it, it's really going to look like blood. This doesn't really look like blood, it just kind of sucks, but this works really well. The blood always works really well with paint. But because I don't have paint, it's not working as well. So, another thing you can do, if you want to make it look like you got dried blood underneath your nose, like you kind of had a bloody nose, and then you wiped it off. Kind of dab it like that, maybe put a little bit of extra red underneath the nose, like really underneath your nostrils, and then you can also add a couple little dabs of black up in there. When I say little, I mean little dabs of black, and then you can mix it in. And then you put more red. It really makes it more of a maroon rather than a red, which gives it that dried blood look to it. Well, it kind of looks like it sucked, but at the same time it still looks like it's kind of busted, which I guess is good to an extent. I probably should have put a little more Vaseline on it. You can see here when you get really close, it doesn't look that much like a bruise. But it looks a little bit more like a bruise. I might have put a little bit too much of the purple and black on it, but that's easy. Because when you look at it from a far distance, it looks a little bit more like I might have actually hit my eye on something. But yeah, really all you really need to know is that with doing black eyes, the biggest color is yellow. So let's see. So you can have this in order. You use yellow, and then red, and then purple, and then black, and that's all you need. And for every color you use, you get a little bit smaller every time, and you get to choose really where you want your bruise to be on your eye, because you could also do it right here. You want a bruise on the forehead. If I had some plastic and some latex, I'd show you how to make it look like you got a piece of glass sticking out of your lip. If I had some, I would totally do that, but sadly I don't right now. Well, this is just kind of for if you want to play a prank on someone, have a little bit of fun. This is kind of what you can do. It looks kind of ridiculous with this down here, but sometimes it's what it looks like after something like an accident. So yeah, so that's how you do a bruise and a little bit of busted up lip and stuff, and a little bit of fake blood out of marker. And like I said, it also works for paint as well as actual Halloween makeup. And I'll probably do a little more of this as Halloween comes and they start putting a little bit more Halloween stuff out. Okay, bye guys.